Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be answering some questions that you guys have asked me through email about Connecticut College, the school that I attend. And I've already answered your questions on email if you guys have emailed me. But I wanted to answer them again just in case the public had the same questions so that I can address them as well. Before I start this video, I just wanted to do a quick disclaimer that the questions that I'm answering here are being answered through my experience. If you end up coming to college, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to experience the same things. And I also do highly encourage you to do your own research. The college website is very informative and you always want to double check on the details. For my first question, one of you guys wanted me to do a stats video, which I was hesitant to do at first because I feel like they're not as informative. And people basically use them to compare their grades and themselves to others to see the chances of them getting into the school. But I'm going to be giving you guys a quick version of it anyways, just because I'm going to give you guys what you want. And also to give you like some tips on how you can improve your application if you are considering or applying to Connecticut College. If you guys aren't interested in this part of the video, you guys can just skip to the part where I get to the other questions, and I'm going to put the timestamp somewhere here. So I'm going to start with my transcript, and throughout high school I took a total of 11 honors, AP, and college classes like combined, and these included like college biology, AP government, algebra honors, college chemistry, AP Spanish, AP history, honors geometry and algebra, etc. Just like honors and AP classes. My weighted GPA was a 4.1 and my simple GPA was a 3.5. My class rank was number 20 out of 236 students. And when I graduated, I did 73 hours of community service in total, and my school required 60. And my SAT scores were a 950 out of 1,600, which is terrible. So you already know I did not submit those to Connecticut College because Connecticut College is SAT optional, so they had no idea I did this bad on my SAT. So for extracurricular activities, I worked at an aquarium for 3 years, giving speeches on exhibits. For volunteering, I volunteered at a hospital, I did church cleaning, I did soup kitchens, and different cleanups and beach cleanup things. For clubs, I did student government, and I did multicultural club, and I was the president of that club my senior year. I was also part of the biomedical club, in which I won an award for a competition. For certificates and awards, I got first honors all throughout high school. I was in the National Honor Society, and I was vice president of the biomedical club and president of the multicultural club. And I also did golf. My junior and senior year, I played varsity golf. I also wanted to quickly share with you guys my sister's stats because my sister applied to Connecticut College, but she got waitlisted and never heard back. And the reason I want to show you guys this is because my sister literally did everything I did, but better. Like, she excelled in high school. So remember when I told you that I took 11 AP/honors courses? My sister took 13. And my class rank was 20 out of 236. Her class rank was 11 out of 220. So my sister was also in the National Honor Society, but she surpassed me in her extracurriculars because instead of one job, she had 2 jobs. I worked at an aquarium, but she worked at McDonald's, and she worked as a risk management intern in the community. And instead of doing one sport, she actually did 2 varsity sports. She did swimming and she did tennis. She did the same amount of clubs that I did, and she was also president of one club at one point. If you're interested in what I wrote my college essay about, I wrote my college essay about learning how to be myself in elementary school and realizing that being myself is more important than being a cool kid. Which is such a random essay, but I don't know, I guess they must have liked it. And my sister wrote about overcoming the obstacle of having to learn a different language and adjusting to the culture of a new country because we are immigrants from the Dominican Republic. So the reason I'm comparing my stats with my sister's is because clearly she surpassed me in everything that comes to like numbers and even extracurriculars, but she got waitlisted and I got in. So I hope that this is just an encouragement that if your grades aren't that good or if your curriculars aren't that good, to apply anyways, because you never know. Connecticut College and mostly all the schools, I think, look at you as an individual and not just your numbers. So you might be bad at this and you're really good at this, and depending on what the admissions office is feeling that day or what they think they need in their school, they will accept you. So I hope that these statistics don't discourage you from applying, but that instead they do, because you just never know. Moving on from statistics, my first question is, are there many international students on campus? Do you have any idea how many? And I actually don't know specifically how many students get accepted each year that are internationals at Con, but I do have little estimates that I got from my friends who are international students. So I was told that the class of 2023 had 7 international students, and they had around 400 or 500 students in total. The class of 2024, which is the incoming freshmen that came in this year, they had 25 international students, around 25 international students. And again, I suggest that you go on the internet and you search for specific numbers, but this is just like a broad number. So to me, that's not a lot of international students, and as you can see, it varies a lot from year to year. Is Connecticut College that small, and does it feel lonely at times? So Connecticut College is a pretty small school compared to other schools, and I wouldn't say that I feel lonely. I feel like I would feel more lonely in a bigger school because I get to see familiar faces more often. So like I run into my friends all the time and I don't feel like I'm alone because I have them around constantly. From a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the dorms? So I think the dorms are pretty good. Like in my search for what school I wanted to go to and apply to, I've seen some horrendous dorms with like crazy pipes coming down and the walls just look weird. But I'm not gonna lie, there are some buildings at Con that aren't very good, but they're minimal. It's not like most of them are terrible. Most of them are like really nice, especially this new building called Morrison that they recently modified, and they actually saved that building for the first year, so you guys get like the cute hotel looking building if you're lucky enough. So for your first year of Connecticut College, you do not get the option of what dorm you want to live in. You're just placed. You can either be placed in a double, a triple, or a quad. And my first year I got placed in a triple, but then after that you get to choose which dorm and even specific room that you want to live in depending on your lottery number. And this lottery number gets points deducted depending on what building you lived in the first year. So for example, if you lived in a quad, you get points taken off because it's not ideal to live with 4 people when you could live with 2 people, I guess. And if you lived in like a basement, you also get points deducted. And so the lower your lottery number is, the sooner you get to choose what building you want to live in, and this increases the chance that you're gonna get the building that you want. So I feel like I talked too much. To wrap up this question, I think the dorms are pretty good quality, and there are some that suck, but the chances of you getting in that building are small because you pretty much get to choose where you want to live. Okay. My next question is, I want your perspective from a student of color like myself at Con. So as you may or may not know, Connecticut College is not very diverse. Even though each year they're getting better at enrolling more students of color and getting them to apply to the school and enroll, but generally the diversity is lacking, like a lot. So much that was one of the reasons I wasn't considering coming to Connecticut College. I was kind of scared to come here because I'm like, there's like 0 diversity, how am I gonna make it? But I'm so glad that didn't deter me from coming to the school, because at the end of the day, when I'm at Connecticut College, my race, my ethnicity is not something that I think about or even affects me in the way that I thought it would. I think a lot of this has to do with me enrolling in all the affinity groups that Connecticut College offers, like Las Voces Unidas, which is a Hispanic club, Black Student Union. They even have Mecha for Mexican American students. woke, which is woman of color, mocha, which is man of color. Like, there's a lot of different affinity groups that you can identify yourself with, and once you immerse yourself in these clubs, you don't feel alone. You don't feel like the minority because you build your own little community. So my next question is, why did you pick Connecticut College? I picked Connecticut College because it's the school that was the most generous with their financial aid package. What has been your favorite experience at Connecticut College? My favorite experience at Connecticut College will probably be celebrating all of my friends' birthdays in the basement of the library, which obviously happened pre-COVID. We basically lived in the library, like we studied there 24/7. And when it was people's birthdays, we would just like buy a cake, buy a couple presents, and just like sing happy birthday. And I miss that so much. Like, that was super fun. Just making memories with my friends in college is my best experience because it's just super fun, and it's just like the things that you remember the most when you look back at the years. How does Connecticut College involve itself in community service? So this is a really good question. Connecticut College has a program called Community Partnerships, where they basically partner you to any volunteering work that you want to do. You can volunteer in soup kitchens, you can volunteer in homeless shelters, schools as tutors, or anything really that you can think of. For my years of college so far, I've been a tutor at the local high school, and I've also been a tutor at local elementary schools. I translated for second language English learners, and it's something that I love doing, and it's something that I will continue on doing, and this center makes it like very easy for you to reach those opportunities. So the next question is, what has your experience been with professors? And my overall experience with professors has been pretty good, positive. There are professors that stand out, and you can tell that they really like deeply care about you, because they're always checking up on you even after your class, and they're always have their ears open to see if there's opportunities that match you, and then they're sure to let you know. And my first year I had good experiences with professors because they were very supportive, but there are some professors that just make your life harder than it should be. Like, some professors are disorganized, other professors aren't clear with what their expectations for assignments, and then they could really mess you up that way. So yes, there are awesome professors, but there are also professors that aren't that great. This is why I highly recommend that you go and rate my professor before you take a class, or you ask around and you ask your friends, like, oh, did you take this class? How was the professor? How do they grade? Are they reasonable? How is your syllabus? So that you could get the good professors that I'm talking about. So the next question is, what fun things are there to do around campus? And I don't think I have a very well balanced campus life, I guess, because all I do is study. But I do study in the basement with all of my friends pre-COVID, so that was already fun. I sound so boring saying that studying is fun. But the fun things to do around campus is just joining clubs. Like, get yourself involved in the clubs and the things that you're passionate about. You'll definitely find a club that interests you. And if you're into sports, they also have club sports. And my favorite part around Con is like the little events that they come up with every year, like Thanksgiving potlucks. They also have like Battle of the Band contests and like rap battles too. What else do they have? Oh, they have dances, like tent dances. Those parties are pretty lit. And then we also have like Festivus, which is an indoor party that should have been taking place if COVID didn't happen. But oh well, that's also fun. They bring in DJs and do parties like often. And then there's also Floralia, which should be happening in the spring, but I doubt we'll have it because COVID. That's when bands and different artists come into the school and perform, and then we just like dress up in cute outfits, and that's so sad. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for fun things that I know of. I'm sure there are a lot of other things, but I probably don't know a lot of these things because all I do is just study, you know. Last but not least, someone asked me, how did Connecticut College handle COVID? And honestly, Connecticut College handled COVID really well compared to other schools, because my sister's school had a crazy outbreak. In like 2 days, there was like 70 cases out of nowhere because people were partying and being irresponsible, and she had to come home for that period of time because it was that bad. But the outbreaks at Con were very minor. We get tested twice a week when we're on campus. So as soon as someone has COVID, they already know even before they develop symptoms, and they keep them in quarantine and in isolation. We didn't have a lot of reasons to be like so paranoid on campus because Con had it under control, and this has a lot to do with the responsibility of the students and following rules. We weren't allowed to go into people's buildings that weren't our own housing buildings, and we were allowed to have one other person in our room with masks on, but social distancing, and they had to live in your building. And we picked up our food. We didn't sit in the dining areas. We did at one point when we reached code green, which is like the safest alert level, but everything was done socially distanced, and people were really good at following the rules, especially the snitches. Like the snitches really held it down, because like if somebody was doing something that was against the rules, like they were wearing no masks even if they were outside or they were too close, there was like literally students snapping pictures of people in the weekend and sending it to the deans. And then on Monday we would get an email like, oh, I received pictures of you guys breaking the rules, remember to be safe, this and that. Like it was that serious. Most students really took this whole pandemic seriously, as they should, and that just resulted in a good overall outcome. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of my video. Ooh, this video is probably like 35 minutes long, but I was just too lazy to split it in half and make a part 2. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any more questions, comment them below. And if you don't feel comfortable commenting questions, I guess I'll answer my email in the description box so that I can keep answering those for you. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.